Welcome back. Today we're going to break down Western Digital, ticker WDC, one of the true market leaders of 2025. I'll take you through this chart day by day, show you exactly where you could have entered for or reduced. Western Digital is one of the world's biggest data storage manufacturers. Think hard drives, SSDs, enterprise storage solutions for AI data centers, cloud providers, and hyperscalers. Why is it so profitable? Storage is in very high demand. It's an industry that is uptrending, and when pricing improves and demand surges, margins expand very quickly. Let's jump in and go. You can see what is expecting us, a true market leader in 2025. Let's change the date to a daily chart. We go to the big, let's say maybe June. Didn't take it. Come on. Where are you? Yeah, 4th of June. We can see at the beginning of the year, we had a base here which failed. It didn't break through that resistance. This would be your first clean entry point if it would break through that one, where the price clears resistance, volume explodes. Here and here we can see higher volume. And the market is in an uptrend. We can see that on the black line on top of the chart. However, this breakout failed, went down, and together with the market, it also corrected significantly. When the market went up again, the market followed through. Also, this stock did. So we could see an early risky entry. The base hasn't formed because it was really heavy selling here. So that's not really a proper base. However, all the charts looked like that at the beginning of the year. Another potential area of resistance was that level. It broke through that one. And if we move forward in this chart, we can see it breaks out from this consolidation, breaks out and forms a small handle. Stocks do that. They pull back to shake out the weakest holders. And then that's your entry. You can see it's again higher volume, and on that one that was actually a support day because the closing range was 66. You can see it. That's support. Let's move on. So momentum starts. It just takes over. And this is what the smooth ride looks like. The stock stays above the 10-day moving average line the whole time. So it's never an easy hold. However, if you look just purely on this chart, it is an easy hold. So nothing that really could shake you out if you entered it properly. And this is all the time on increased blue volume. That means that's heavy institutional buying as well. You can see these skyscrapers. If you look, that's the highest volume ever since the base. And so far there was no pullback to the 21 line, or it didn't live below the 10-day moving line. So whenever it pulled back, and we are here in August, we can see it pulls back a bit on lower volume. So the volume dries up here a bit. And the buyers step in very quickly. So they absorb all the shares that are out there. And you can see the first time pull back to the 21 moving average line. It was on 73, and the low of that day was also 73.14. It did not pull below it. So, and you could see it where it closes. The close is here. That's a bullish sign. It's immediately above the 10-day average line. That's a potential add-on point where you could add few shares, usually 10% of your position. However, if you have conviction in that stock, you could also use more. So again, there was no reason to reduce that stock. However, but to buy it. And here again, there was, let's go back to a few days. You can see again, it pulls back. The volume is here lower, and then it bursts out of that one. Volume is higher on that day. Here, over 80 now. The market corrected a bit. However, if you also here, however, you can see the relative strength line moves up like an A almost. That's very bullish. So if you snooze out the market noise and don't let you shake you out, then you are in this leader, stay in this leader. This is classic leader behavior. The stock refuses to break down, refuses to give back gains, and simply guides along its moving average lines. So you hold. Higher and higher. That's extremely bullish. Now we even have ends. That's unusual high volume. We can also see that that the institutions have taken advantage of that move. They moved up 10% year over year from September approximately. Now there are more than 2,000 funds in that stock invested. Dips get absorbed instantly. And we are coming to almost to the end of that move as of now. I mean, probably the move is not, it's not the end, and you can see it moves up much stronger than it moves down. Look at these skyscrapers up in strong volume. That's institutions. These are not little buyers. These are heavy funds buyers. And the recent pullback here in November didn't even touch the 21-day line. Again, bullish. It holds up there. From a failed early base in the year to a monster breakout in June and a smooth leadership trend afterward. There are multiple entry follow-on points. Barely any trouble holding the stock. And when you have a stock like this, the real skill is staying in it, ignoring the noise from the market and letting the trend pay you. Thank you for watching, and let's keep hunting for the next true market leader.